Yo guys, what's going on and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today for the Chinese Grand Prix, and round number 3 of season 2 is upon us. If you guys missed rounds 1 and 2 for Australia and Bahrain, you can click on the card in the top right hand corner of your screen for a full playlist link along with the link to the previous episode at Bahrain before we jump into any further spoilers. Now for this weekend, you can see on the screen right now, we've got a big chance of rain both in the qualifying and the race, and also in terms of R&D upgrades this race, Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull bring no upgrades, but Haas have brought a whopping upgrade package here today, and they are now the second quickest team on the grid. Also, a small disclaimer guys, I've got some new graphics on this video and you'll see them in the race when it comes to team radio and also at the end for the outro, and they're made by Dylan Designs on Twitter. I'll leave his links down below in the description if you guys want to go check him out and want to get some graphic work done if you are a YouTuber like myself. But yeah, jumping into practice, you can see on the screen right now we had a pretty decent session. I did the fuel management test on top of the usual practice programs because I want to try and put away some more R&D points and try and push that a little bit more because we need to catch up, and we're up against it here. You know, other teams around us are moving. We do currently have a major aerodynamic and a major engine upgrade in the works for the Spanish Grand Prix, and that should be a massive performance boost, but I want to try and add to that. So we won't be able to do any upgrades probably in this episode, but hopefully with the points we get in this video and also in the next one at Baku, hopefully at the end of the next episode we should be able to do a massive upgrade package once again, and then hopefully for the next few races at Spain and Monaco, those two specifically, we should have some big upgrades on the car going into the European season. So yeah, hopefully that's the plan going forward, and hope you guys are looking forward to it, and some big step up in improvement from us coming very soon. But now we're going to jump into qualifying here at China. We're going to see how we get on as we jump into the session here, and like I said before, there is a chance of rain later on, so we're going to try and use our tyres kind of accordingly and try and save some sets as well for the race because that could help us out. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. First of all though, we're going to tackle Q1, and I'm going to actually hit the track on the soft compound tyres as Charles Leclerc currently setting the pace in the new and improved Haas car, and I'm doing this on 104% AI guys, so yeah, just a disclaimer, I did 108 in Australia, 106 in Bahrain, and now I'm down to 104 because the AI are very strong around the circuit this year. So after practice it seemed like more or less the right difficulty level for me, but currently Q1 you can see on the clock 7.5 minutes to go, and I'm on my way now on my 1 and only lap in this session. And to be fair, it's going pretty well. Going through sector 1 there, you can see Leclerc 23.7, we actually do a 24.0, and about 2.5 tenths now, which is quite a lot to be fair through sector 1, but there wasn't really any major mistakes. A little bit wide there through turn 5, but overall so far so good as we now go through the left and the right. See the two quickest corners on the racetrack and the most fun corners really for me around here. I really enjoy these two because they flow together so nicely. And then we go into our next kind of double left, and it's kind of awkward here because the AI are very good through here on traction. I really struggle, so we drop a little bit of time to the AI there, and we're now 7 tenths adrift of Leclerc's time. We lost half a second, and I'd say about 4 tenths of it is just for those double lefts alone. The AI having traction control really get the power down beautifully through there, and we can't match up. And also for the banking as well, we lose a little bit on traction. But overall, the final sector is actually okay for me, at least I've found from practice. And yeah, it's pretty much foot to the floor and hope the car can max out on speed, hitting almost 340 k's as we brake at the 100 meter board down to first gear for the hairpin. Have a lot of patience to pick up the throttle here, don't run too wide onto that curb, otherwise you're going to struggle to get the power down. And now one more corner to go, throw the car and just launch it in, hope it sticks on the power, and then open DRS and up to the line, and it's going to be only P12 for us, so not the best. 1.1 off the pace, so we lost another 4 tenths in that final sector, and I thought I was safe in P12, but then I simulated it in the session, and up until I was in the garage, and up until when it went to the results, I was in P13, it was looking pretty good, and then I went from P13 to P16 just like that in a flash, and yeah, we got knocked out by 1,000th of a second, which is really annoying. So yeah, unfortunate because I had good pace, but somehow, some way, it's been a shock Q1 elimination for us, and I don't know what to say. The AI around here are very strong. Also, they've improved a lot since Bahrain and also even more since Australia. And yeah, the AI inconsistency continues in this career mode. But I'm going to keep it on 104 for the race and hope the race pace is better. I think there was a better qualifying lap in me, but not much more than that. With that being said, that is it for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. They're starting towards the back of the field today in a car that is fast, so they'll be disappointed, won't they?
Yeah, it can be very disheartening when you have a bad qualifying session, and even more so when you get to the grid for the race and you can't even see the start line because of all the cars ahead of you. It's just as well that Lucas has a reputation for hard work and determination, as he's going to need both today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Weber, Carlos Sainz, and Bottas, Leclerc, Norris, Perez, and Max Verstappen, Albon, Magnussen, George Russell and Raikkonen, Martinez, Stroll, Devon Butler and Daniel Ricciardo. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, here we are then on the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix, and we start from P15, promoted from a couple of penalties elsewhere, and a very poor qualifying yesterday, and not much I can really say. I'm at 104% now. I've stuck with it. I'm not going to change it because I feel like I don't really want to go any lower, because I feel like I would like to think I'm not that slow. So yeah, hopefully we can turn it around in the race. We're going to start in the mediums, and the strategy is quite favourable because there is rain expected. It's going to be quite an interesting race. I think the rain's going to be the major key player here, and my first time racing in the wet since the patch, and apparently they've been improved, so it won't be a landslide. It's going to be a tricky race still. Fuel-wise, we're running 0.5 laps extra, not too much, just enough for the dry period. We're going to start the race on the mediums and be comfortable on those tyres, and pretty much wait till the intermediates arrive. So we're going to see how that goes, and hopefully we can try and have a good race. I'm praying strategy's on point, because if it is, it could mean big things for us in this race. So first of all, I'm going to try and be aggressive on this medium tyre and try and work my way up at least to P10 if possible, and then we'll take it lap by lap and see how we get on. With that being said though, let's jump into it. It's time for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Let's do this. Right, here we go. The 5 red lights come on here for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go at Shanghai. Not a bad start, to be fair. I've had a lot worse than that. That's pretty decent to say I'm on a slower time. I'm going to try my luck around the outside here at 1 and 2. Oh yes, that's fantastic. Look at that. Lots of space, lots of grip. We're going to go on the outside. We're kind of squeezed in here, as I think Verstappen's kind of stuck into my right rear or something. We get the power down though beautifully out of turn 3. We're going to be on the outside for turn 4 here. We're going to have to get the brakes early because I don't want to hit the back of Norris. Perez on the inside locking up. We're going to go right on the outside of the Renault. There we go. Yellow flag up to P9. Fantastic start to the race so far. Really, really good start. Better than I expected. The medium tyre's actually okay, and it was functioning fine. Everyone in front of us seems to be on mediums as well, so we need to make these moves. Bottas, I think, in front of Norris on hards. So let's try and get past him if we can. P7 up for grabs early on, as we struggle for traction through there. Let's try and get a head down. Got plenty of ERS.
Good start. Keep it up.
Yep, cheers Jeff. Plenty of ERS, so we're going to try and use it. Let's feed the car through here. Let's see what straight line speed is like. I've got quite a bit of air on the car. I'm running 8.7 wings. I've got one eye on the weather, of course. But to be fair, I would have run that had it been a dry race anyway, because I've been struggling with understeer a lot through here. We've got a nice tie on Norris. We're not really gaining as he's got a tie on Bottas. Bottas seems very quick on the straight. We're just going to follow for now. Not going to commit because we've had a good start. I don't want to throw it away, so we're not going to send one. We're going to just hold back for now. I'll wait for the right time. Through the final corner, end of lap 1. And we're into the points, which is good. Good recovery. Good exit. Can we try and go for a move on Lando here? We're gaining a little bit, but not enough. So we'll just hang on for now. Can we try and slip down the inside at turn 2? Find the grip. Yes, we do. Almost hit that Bottas. I think I just clipped him. Lando on the inside here. I'm trying to make a cheeky move around the outside of the McLaren. A little bit of contact there, I think, but we are going to get the move done just. Up to P8. Up next is Valtteri Bottas. As I'm a little bit hot there into turn 5. Let's try and get off to the racing point and try and get past straight away. Right, here we go then. Let's make no mistakes. Keep it nice and tidy through here. And then we should be able to pass Bottas fairly swiftly. He's struggling for grip on that hard tyre. As you can see, he runs wide. We're going to turn up the engine here. You can definitely see that Racing Point is very good on the straight. But here we go. We've got a beautiful toe on him. We're going to pull to the right-hand side and make the move for P7. Bottas giving us a bit of a squeeze. I'm going to try and get back onto the racing line if I can. Or as best as I can anyway, into the hairpin. We take the inside and there we go, up to 7th place. Another nice tidy move there. Up next, Carlos Sainz. Let's try and hunt him down as Lewis sets the pace in the Red Bull. But there we go, so far so good.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
Yeah, cheers Jeff. Right, let's get after the Spaniard and get P6. Here we go then, we've co-opted Sainz, we've got within his DRS. Let's try and make the overtake on the McLaren. Keep a nice tight line through the banking and now open up the taps onto the back straight. We are quite far back. Our straight line speed, as you saw, isn't great, but Sainz has no slipstream and we're going to have DRS here, so this should be a fairly simple move. We're gaining. Sainz goes defensive. We're going to commit to the inside. Inside line. Sainz opens up the line to try and switch back, but there's no way through. And there you go. The first droplets are just starting to come down now. So the rain, very early here, already starting to make its presence felt. So this could get interesting.
Gap to car in front is 2.5 seconds.
Pretty decent personal best there as well, which is good. 35 for 1. That's decent pace. And these guys in front are battling here. The two Red Bulls are starting to open up a gap out front, which is to be expected. But we're behind Sebastian now. He's been overtaken by a Haas of, I believe, Charles Leclerc. Let's try and get in amongst it and try and close up that gap. Seems like everybody is on mediums. So this call freeze is going to be tricky because I don't want to stack if I can avoid it. So we need to time this right. And the rain within a lap normally makes its presence felt. So we might have to be ready to pit in this lap for inters, to be honest.
This lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to give it a go and see if it pays off. I can feel the grip fading on that. I'm going to see how the hairpin feels and I'll make my final decision. But yeah, that was definitely not great. Yeah, the grip's getting pretty poor. The next lap could be the one where it fades away and I don't want to stack. So I'm not going to take that chance. And I'm going to pit in here. We're rolling the dice early, but it could be the big call. It could be the one. Let's find out. Let's slow it down and not speed. There we go. Perfect pit entry. Now we need a good stop from the boys. Come on, guys.
Go now.
Good stuff. 2-second stop. We'll take that. Right then, let's see if this is the right call. Bottas pits in off the hard, so will he go inters? Looks like Perez as well also coming in, so Racing Point are stacking their cars.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. We'll see about that because this race could get interesting. At the minute, the grip feels poor, but Bottas has gone into inters, as has Perez, I'm guessing. At the minute, the grip feels not great, but I think it's probably on that crossover phase, and the track doesn't feel too great on dries. So it's all about surviving this first half of the lap, and hopefully, by the end of the lap, the tyres will come to us. Let's see what this brake zone's like. Let's not lock up, let's not kill our tyres off. Okay, this is manageable, I can handle this. And there you go. DRS disabled. So we've done the right call, we've timed it perfectly. So let's try and have a strong end to the lap if we can, try and focus. The grip is horrible, nowhere near the inters yet, but it's obviously worse for the dries. So let's focus on having a strong lap and making no mistakes. Yep, Sebastian pits in. You can see the AI visibly struggling at the hairpin there to turn in. We've timed this perfectly. Will we manage to undercut all three of those cars in front of us? We'll see, because they were a lot further ahead on track, so they would have suffered a lot less from the wet weather. But let's find out. Here we go for the final corner. On the pit straight, let's turn up the engine. They're leaving the pit exit now.
Ahead is 1.5 seconds.
We've got past Vettel. Leclerc's right there on the inters. Can we try and make a move here, a little cheeky overtake, slip down the inside at turn 2. There we go, we managed to just slip past. So there we go, we've undercut 2 of the cars. Gasly managed to survive, so let's see if we have pace in the wet weather. It's the first time racing with the AI in these conditions, so let's see how much quicker they are, and do we still have the pace. And McLaren pits in, who I believe was still on dry tyres. Lando Norris. We've got a Red Bull in the pit lane as well. What the hell is this? Lucas Vapor's in the pit lane. Okay, so he hadn't stopped yet. Wow. So with P3, Gasly's P2 at the minute. I can tell already we've got okay pace. Through the corners we're super quick, but the AI are absolutely 100% perfect on traction, and that's where I lose time. So it's a bit of a trade-off. But you can see Gasly there, look how he pulls away, and I'm trying to struggle to get traction down. That's where they make up their lap time. So we now know how it all works. So it's all about trying to handle it as best as we can.
Heavy rain arriving within 5 minutes' time.
It's interesting as well, heavy rain. Could be on the wets earlier than expected. I guess we'll find out as well. Okay, I'm starting to feel the confidence now and really put the pressure on Pierre here. So if I can just hang on through the next few corners and try and be close enough coming out the banking, then I'll be okay. But I'm struggling. Starting from these two corners, I really lose a lot of time. Dry, wet, whatever it may be, delta time, I lose a lot through here, and I just can't get the car to work through there. Never be able to get the power down. But the good thing is we're shaking off Charles Leclerc, so we can just focus on Gasly now and try and get past the Mercedes driver. Let's try and stay close through here if we can.
I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
That's a pretty okay exit. I feel like where I'm going to pass him is probably going to be turn 1 or into turn 2, like I did with Leclerc. We are gaining on the straight, to be fair. See, I'm so much better on the brakes than the AI, but then traction wise, Gasly just floors it. Just try and stay close, or as close as we can. That's not too bad. A bit far off here, but can we get the run into turn 1? We're gaining, here we go. Let's try and go for this. Down the inside. Not quite committing to that, don't feel the confidence. In the dry, yes, but in the wet, not so much. Having a look at turn 2, Gasly pushes me onto the grass. Gives me no room. Can we have a look into turn 5? Again, if I could just get better traction out of there. I'm pretty good on the brakes, but we wait again. Let's see if this time we can get a bit of a better exit out of the banking. That's not too bad. A bit closer, come on, let's see what we got on the straight. We're gaining. We've got to send it. We absolutely have to send one. But Gasly, to be fair, pretty good on the brakes that time. I think he knew I was going to try, and he broke a little bit later. Let's stay close again here. Let's try again to turn 1 and turn 2. Oh, that's not the best exit. Gasly gets a fantastic bit of traction, to be fair to him.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about that. We're going to try a different line this time. Aggressive at the first part, and then stay low. No, not quite. I'm going to have to back out because he's going to squeeze me again. If I can just get the exit out of here, down towards turn 5, could be a fantastic chance. A little bit closer this time, but still not really close enough. Oh, that's close, very close. Struggling to find a way past this Mercedes at the minute.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. They're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
It does feel like the conditions are getting worse. All that attacking Gasly's cost me time and actually made me drop back a little bit, and now Leclerc's putting the pressure on there, but we're going to try and go again, but it feels like the track's getting worse, and I've got one eye on the weather again here for the full wets. I wonder if I could try and not put another set of inters and jump straight to the wet tyre. That'd be great. Also, Hamilton's catching up now. He's right behind Leclerc. He's making, Weber, sorry, I think it was Weber in the Red Bull, making good progress now, recovering nicely. Let's select the full wets because I feel like that's going to be the next tyre. Okay, good exit out there. Used lean mix and actually worked out quite nice for us. We're going to challenge Gasly here, and I think this is the closest I've been. Let's see if we can try and get him into the hairpin. I've got a little bit more ridge mix to burn this time. Gasly does go defensive. We're going to go to the outside. Gasly late on the brakes and does well. Switch back. Try and get that traction down, but we know how good the AI are. Let's just stay close and keep the pressure on him through the final corner. That will do. That's good enough. Let's stay within range. I think turn 2.
Is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap.
Yeah, we're definitely shaking off Leclerc now. We're focusing on Gasly once again, trying to get that re-overtake. Let's go for it this time. We're much closer this time. We're going to go down the inside. There we go, we had to commit to it. Big send at turn 2. We let off the brake and just let the car roll through, and it paid off, and we are past Pierre Gasly. I'm going to use that leading mix. It was working quite well for me in traction zones, so we're going to stick with it. And let's try and open up a gap now before Weber gets past Gasly and Leclerc. There we go, Weber up to P3 now. He's got past Gasly.
2 laps until our pit window opens. We're going to put you on the full wet tyre.
Yeah, we're going to hang it out until the full wets. Hamilton's faster than me, but I'm faster than everybody else behind. Although Weber now is probably going to be quicker than me. He's got 2 lap fresher inters. But we've got good pace. We've opened up a nice gap. So now we've got to try and hold that before we go onto the wets. It's going to be a battle of trying to hold the Red Bull behind for the rest of the race now, pretty much, and try and show our wet weather pace. The lean mix out of corner exit is really working well for me, and I'm quicker than I was before, and it's giving me a bit more prolonged tyre life as well, so that's working well for us. 2.8 gap to Weber. Let's try and stick with it.
The car behind is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
Yep, he's quicker than me. Not much I can do about it, unfortunately. That Red Bull's very quick. Lewis is pulling away about 0.7 a lap per lap. And yeah, we've got the best pace in terms of everyone else outside of the Red Bulls, but the Red Bulls are just way too quick, really showcasing their dominance and how fast they are in the R&D trap.
We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Interesting info, because we're scheduled to pit in this lap, so we're going to have to stay out and go longer, which is fine. Weber is catching me now. He's closing in within a second, but of course there's no DRS, so we should be okay to keep him behind. I feel confident I can, and the gap is getting bigger to those behind as well, which is what I'm worried about. In other words, we're securing this podium, which is what I want. As Lewis pits in, actually, interesting, he's gone for another set of inters. I didn't even realise. So we're P1 now. All of a sudden, we're in for this race win. If we hang it out until the full wets, we could win this. I'll have a look at my tyres in a minute and see what the tyre life is, but if I can get to the end on these, I might consider it, although Lewis has rejoined and pretty much is going to be on us very soon. Here comes Weber on the back straight. He's got the momentum, no DRS, but we're going to have to go defensive though, although I think he's probably going to pit in. We're going to show him the long way round, and I'll take the inside line, thank you very much. There we go, job done, that will do. As Weber should pit in now, I think. There you go. So Lewis is going to be our next challenger. I'm committing to this. I've looked at my tyres. It's close, but I think I can make it work. I think I can get these to the end. As Sebastian pits in as well. Let's see how this goes. I'm rolling the dice. I want to win against all odds, so I'm taking a chance.
Right, our current set of rubber is looking a bit worse for wear at this point. It's not going to be long before it falls away from us completely. Stay alert.
Yep, don't worry mate, I'm just refocused. Part of the gamble, but we're making it work. We've got good pace still. Lewis is catching about half a second a lap, but that's okay.
Some information on Vettel. They seem to have an issue.
Oh damn it, not again. What a shame. I thought we had pretty decent reliability as well. We covered most of the parts, so that's a shame to hear from Sebastian's side, as he was battling enough for those points. Hopefully we can try and bring home the W though and try and help out the team. At the minute, Weber, I've been looking at the gap on the left hand side. He's lapping at the same pace as me on fresher rubber, which makes no sense. So for now, that's good. That suits me. It means if I pit in, I should be very close to him, which is what I want. And if I have fresher tyres, I think I'll probably be quicker than him. So I'm hoping his pace stays like that, because if it does, I can afford to stay out and take this risk. And if I need to pit in, I'll pit in if I have to. Bad news is Lewis is now within range here, and this is for the race win, and this is part of the gamble, so we've got to try and defend this. So here we go. Let Lewis pull out the slipstream, and then I should be able to level out in terms of straight line speed and compete. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big lock-up. I've taken Lewis wide with me. He's going to switch back underneath. Huge double front lock-up. Warning for a collision with Lewis there, which I do take responsibility for. I was a bit too brave on the brakes there. Luckily, no real damage caused, I don't think, so we continue on.
Gap to teammate behind is 32.8 seconds.
Oh, Lewis down the inside. He's doing the move that I like to do, so I'm going to squeeze him into the apex like the AI do to me. Pressure is building now, and he's really starting to ask some questions as Weber's now has gained a lot of time. The gap down to 19 seconds. Of course, us battling is going to cost me time. So here we go. We've got a long way to go yet to the finish before we can say we're going to win this race. And Lewis is going to challenge me every single corner. Oh, that's a big moment. That's going to get Lewis alongside very early. Rears 63%, 66 on the left front. It's going to be marginal. Lewis going in for a second helping a slipstream. We're going to take the racing line. Take an earlier apex than usual and hope it doesn't dive down the inside. I'm hanging on, but I'm starting to think the tyres aren't going to make it.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Yeah, I can see that. That's okay, we're holding on. I'm a little bit wide there. Don't let him get down the inside. I don't want to make any mistakes. Don't want to invite pressure. Unnecessary pressure. Oh no. Seb's out. That's not what I wanted. Right, we're flying the flag for Ferrari then. Seb's out of the race, so we've got to try and secure these points. Lewis is going to challenge again here. That is a send and a half around the outside. That's the difference in fresh tyres, but we managed to get the traction. Yep, that's okay, Jeff, I'm managing that. We get the traction down, then we stay in front. Pressure's really building here. I really want to pit in, but I'm hanging out. I'm kind of hoping that the wets actually are available and we can go in for those. I want the rain to get worse. Really struggling to get the power down now. Here comes Lewis once again. He's going to get to the inside. He's alongside nice and early, so hopefully we can try and match him for drag. You can see there it's pretty equal. Around the outside, Lewis does get the inside line there, to be fair. I think that might be it. Lewis might have made it stick there. Unless I can come back at him, but I don't really have the tyres for it. Yeah, there you go, look at the acceleration and the traction there from Lewis, that's it. It's done. Unfortunately, we took a risk to try and win the race. It hasn't paid off. Right, now what do? Do I pit in? My tyres are really struggling. My DRS is going to fly on as well. I think I'm going to have to come in. I can't really go this long. It's going to be impossible. Right, those tyres are pretty much telling me that I have to come in, unfortunately. I feel okay in terms of pace, I just don't trust the puncture. If the tyre wasn't that bad, I'd stay out because my pace is okay and I'll be able to keep Weber behind. But the puncture is risky and I don't want to take that risk, so I'd rather secure third place. So we're going to pit in. We should still rejoin in P3 because Weber's had some ridiculous pace more than anything. So here we go into the pit lane. Slow it all down. Let's not speed. There we go. Onto a fresh set of inters. I'm not going to take the chance in the wets. Just going to play it safe, like I said, and secure third place.
Go.
Good stop again there. 2 seconds flat. And even if we do rejoin behind Leclerc, we should have fresh tyres and we should be able to put him under pressure. But I think we should rejoin in P3 here. There we go, quite comfortably.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
There's Leclerc just behind us, so there we go. We're still in front, which is good. So let's just secure third place, and that's still a good result considering we started from P15 and pace struggles in qualifying. Fresh inters, we're about a second a lap quicker than Weber and 2 seconds quicker than Leclerc. But I'm now going to turn the engine down, just leave it in standard engine mode. I'll turn it down a little bit more next lap and just cruise to the finish now and secure this P3. Right, here we are then on the back straight, last lap of the race. Lewis Hamilton wins in Shanghai and scores the extra point for the purple lap when we was in the dry. So 26 points for him. Lucas Weber, P2, and 3 Red Bull 1-2s in a row. Meanwhile for us, we got 3rd in Australia, 4th in Bahrain, 5th today, considering our struggles and where our car is. That's good performance. Hopefully once the European season comes around, we'll find some more performance. But overall, a decent race and another podium. Grazie ragazzi, Forza Ferrari. Grazie.
Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place here today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
Devon did much better in today's race than he did in qualifying. Were you expecting that? There wasn't much between you and Lucas by the finish today. How does it feel, sharing a Formula One podium with your old F2 teammate? You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Appreciate your time.
Right, so here we have the final race results. Lewis Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix ahead of Lucas Weber. 1-2 for Red Bull once again, and Lewis picks up the fastest lap in the process. We come home P3, and a very good result, like I said, from P15 on the grid, a very good recovery. Charles Leclerc P4 for Haas, very good result for him in the improved Haas package for this race. Pierre Gasly P5, and then we've got Magnussen, Butler, Sainz, Bottas and George Russell rounding out the top 10, and then Verstappen just missing out on the points, along with Fernando Norris, Albon, Ricciardo, Perez, Stroll, Kvyat, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi and my teammate Sebastian Vettel, the only retirement of the Grand Prix, unfortunately for us. And Sebastian actually started from P1, surprisingly as well. So yeah, disappointing race. But in terms of the standings, we are currently P3, and we've got a little bit of breathing room as well. Actually, Devon Butler's P4, but we're pretty much 20 points clear, 19 points clear of him, which is great news. So we've got some breathing room. We're actually closer to Lewis Hamilton than we are to Butler. So yeah, we're keeping the Red Bulls in our sights as best as we can. Sebastian Vettel only P7 so far. Very poor start to the season for him. And yeah, obviously not all his fault. He would probably be P4 in the championship had it not been for the retirement today. So that's unfortunate for him. But in terms of the constructors, we hold on to P2. Mercedes not too far behind. Red Bull 65 points clear. And that's more than double the points that we have. So yeah, that's quite worrying, and they're very far away already. But hopefully we could try and close the gap. But for now, that is it, guys, for this episode. We're not going to put any on the upgrades. We've already got 2 major upgrades on the way for Spain, for the engine and the aero. We're going to try and add to that in the next episode after Baku. We'll go for another big R&D upgrade push, and come Spain and Monaco, we should have some big upgrades on the car and some big improvements going into the European season, and hopefully we could try and turn our season around. With that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. And if you did enjoy it, drop a like on the video, and also subscribe if you are new. Leave me some love below for the new outro that was made for me by Dylan and Designs. And yeah, guys, subscribe if you are new, notifications on, and check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.